What's going on, bros and girls? Today I'll be doing an in-depth review of this newly released Myth Labs Eclipse high-end personalized headphone with passive noise cancelling. Myth headphones are very unique that sets themselves apart from other headphones in that every part is modular and customizable where you pick and choose the main components. At the moment, you can choose between 4 padded headbands called Mythbands and 2 speaker styles. There's the lightweight Genesis on-ear model, and mine shown here, the larger Eclipse circumaural or over-ear speakers that surround your ears. As you can see, I picked the white-on-white trill model, but there is a choice of 6 different color combinations within each model. And if you need help choosing a pair, Myth Labs provides a free sonic signature app that scans your music library and looks at average bitrate of the songs, music genre, and your age, and determines which Myth pair will work best for you. For current pricing and availability of both my Eclipse and the smaller Genesis, I've included some links for you down below. So as with all my reviews, I'll start with the cons and leave off on a good note with the pros. Before I start though, I would like to make note that as with all high-end headphones, they generally provide the best performance after you burn them in first. Burn-in is a fairly simple process that is comparable to breaking in a pair of shoes, and loosens up the drivers to their intended state and tightens up the sound. And as the very wise and knowledgeable Bubba Sparks and Yang Yang twins would say, there is no exact science or process to burn in, but basically you pick a wide frequency sound or playlist and play it on louder than normal volumes anywhere from as little as 10 to 20 hours, all the way up to some have said hundreds of hours total. To make things a bit easier, there is a burn-in feature on their Sonic Signature app. Anyways, onto the cons. The first and only one I found is pretty small, and it's basically the general downside of any white leather material. You probably have noticed when you buy a brand new pair of white leather kicks, if you don't spray them or clean them religiously, they will quickly get scuffed and or discolored by rubbing off on your dark jeans as well as running from the cops. The same applies for the white leather portion on the Mythband. I carelessly wore them to the gym with a black ball cap a few times. That tends to rub off on other things, and you might not be able to see it too much since I've scrubbed it off pretty good, but there was a slight gray tinge to the white band after a few workouts. Like I said though, this is mainly my fault for wearing something dark that transfers, and shouldn't happen with other Mythbands, but is definitely something to keep in mind. Some have said the cord is too short for studio use. However, I don't really find this to be a con because there are cable extensions you could get, and because the cord is removable, which is a pro, you should be able to use pretty much any attachable cord with the headphone. Also, I find for portable use, a long cord just gets in the way anyways, and you have to shove like 5 feet of extra slack into your pants just so you don't trip on the cord. And in my case, my pants are already full with other big things. Now onto the pros, which I have quite the list because I came out really pleased with my Eclipse. The first pro is its biggest strength and really should be what matters most in headphones, and it is how they sound. The closest headphone I can compare these two in regards to sound is my highly regarded Sennheiser HD 558s, where if you look around anywhere on the web, those headphones are extremely well reviewed. These Eclipse are pretty much a closed-back version of the 558s. Like the Sennheisers, I would say these Eclipse are audiophile grade, so they cater mostly to sound monitoring and hi-fi music. So basically studio work and listening to music from a high-end, high bitrate source. Because of this, they convey a natural, balanced, and even sound without any exaggerated highs or lows. This may be a problem for bass heads, however anyone wanting the best all-around headphone that is the most accurate to the source will know gauging bass only is not a good measure of sound quality. Many people find bass-focused headphones to be overpowering and fatiguing on the ears, and in a lot of cases it tends to wash out the highs and or the mid-ranges. Though these don't have astronomical levels of bass, the bass is still tight and punchy while still keeping the mids and highs very clean too. Also, like the 558s, they have a remarkable musical balance, and I've noticed they bring out details most other headphones can't. Because of their neutral balance, clarity, and natural sound signature, you can definitely hear why they are excellent for studio work. Another pro is soundstage. Though they have slightly less stage than the 558s, that's mainly because the Sennheisers are an open design, and these are a closed type, and generally a high-end open headphone will have a wider stage than a high-end closed headphone because of that design trait. However, the upside of these being closed is that the bass is slightly punchier than the open-aired 558s. And of all the closed types I've auditioned, it's safe to say these have probably the widest soundstage. This is good for hearing instrument separation as well as in games. For such games as first-person shooters, you have accurate positional audio so you can sound whore your enemies and hear their footsteps. So when they round a corner, you can spray all over their faces. With bullets. Because they are good with games as well as music, you're pretty much getting 2 headphones in one, as most dedicated gaming headsets have pretty poor bass performance and sound very mediocre with music, and most headphones that sound amazing with music don't have enough soundstage for games. With the Eclipse, you're getting the Hannah Montana of headphones. Yeah. Third pro is aesthetics and comfort. These headphones look extremely sharp, and the white model here is very eye-catching. One thing Monster and Beats are good at are designing amazing looking headphones, and I believe these Myths actually beat them in their specialty. Like a 10 out of 10 girl, the body is smooth with just the right amount of curves, and there's padding in all the right places. The headband on the black and white Mythbands are much more padded than the orange and blue ones, and combined with the soft ear cups, I find you can use them for long periods of time without any discomfort. The next pro relates to the ear cup padding and its sound isolation. I don't know what exactly are inside the ear cups, but Myth Labs have done an amazing job using a great sound isolating material combined with the closed back design to give awesome passive noise reduction, and I found that when I wore them in noisy areas, I didn't have to crank up the volume like I normally do just to drown out outside noise. At less than 45% volume, I get the sound isolation that most normal headphones can't provide until the volume is way up to 70 or 80%. Also, because they are passive, they minimize ambient noise without reducing the sound quality of the music that a lot of active noise cancelling headphones tend to do. A last pro is build quality. These headphones are made of plastic to keep them light, as well as metal in all the heavily stressed and folded points. As you can see, the metal is also a very attractive stainless steel that's shiny almost to the point of looking like a nice polished chrome. And like I say, whenever you can see big honkin' screws visible, they definitely have that rugged feel to them. Also, you can see they're extremely flexible, and I'm definitely confident they won't snap, crackle, or pop anytime soon. So all in all, like I said, I am very impressed with these Myth Labs Eclipse. They are a premium price, but unlike some popular brands of headphones named after celebrities, you're actually getting a premium headphone which has performance, style, and build quality to match its price. You're also getting a product that in the future you can further upgrade and customize. For example, if you want an on-ear headphone later on, you just have to buy the Genesis speakers and not a completely new pair of headphones. I highly recommend these for anyone wanting a great all-around headphone for both music and gaming. And with music, they are great for studio work, yet still portable and stylish to use them with your MP3 player. So I hope you guys all enjoyed my review of the Myth Labs Eclipse high-end personalized headphone. If you did, please thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And follow me on Twitter, it would be much appreciated. Until next time, YouTube, peace!